From the land of lakes, this is 10,000 Takes. Brought to you by Minnesota Score Radio. Wally and Eric back for yet another week. And we are ecstatic you've tuned us in.
Nice outfit.
Yeah, wow. This was not planned.
You apparently didn't get the memo.
No, I usually have another color shirt in the car, but not today.
Didn't work
unfortunately. So I guess for better or worse, we'll start with the Minnesota Twins.
Well, a lot of guys changing shirts there.
Yeah. A year ago, fire sale, liquidation, 10 trades. They gut the team. This year, Tom Pohlad lives up to his promise. Hey,
he did.
If we're in it, we'll add pieces. They did. They didn't get Tarek Skubal or some, future Hall of Fame player, but they got some solid acquisitions, or at least they think they did. Much better than a year ago.
Well, and they added where they needed it. They added a couple of relief pitchers.
Where they tore it down a year ago.
Fair point, actually.
I mean, it's too bad Tom Pohlad wasn't in charge of the Twins a year ago. They might still have Louis Varland and Johan Duran.
Yeah, and they gave away a lot last year.
Boy.
There's no question about it. And I see that, they ended up sending Kendry Rojas down. He was one of the plums that they received in the deals that they made. And I'm glad that they did something. And I think that it should make Twins fans feel better about the final 2 months of the season. Now these guys got to perform. They added 2 relievers. Hoffman from Toronto, who has a good track record. Minter, they brought him in as well. This is a guy that can help them in short relief, probably a 7th, 8th inning type of guy. I'm assuming they might use Hoffman as their closer. We'll see how this thing plays out. And then they added a starting pitcher. So I think that they knew what they needed. They went out and did it kind of the Twins way. They didn't really let go of any big prize prospects. They didn't have to. And, of course, they didn't, as you mentioned, get Tarek Skubal, but neither did 28 other teams.
Yep. LA Dodgers get the plum of the trading deadline acquisitions. But, for the Twins, Ryan Jeffers is still in Minnesota.
Yes.
We knew Byron Buxton wasn't going anywhere. That's been very clear the last 2 years. He wants to be a Twin. Joe Ryan, though, still with the Minnesota Twins. So this ball club, which is in the wild card chase in the American League and basically in the race in the American League Central.
Sure.
It's a mediocre league, folks. The New York Yankees, Tampa Bay, and Boston are 3 very good teams. The rest of the league is either right around 500 or south of that.
Yeah.
And the Twins are in the mix, and maybe they'll make a run. They just have to keep winning series. They've done a pretty good job of that. They had a hiccup in Seattle last weekend, but 2 walk-off losses, so they certainly were they weren't pummeled by the Mariners. But it's there for the taking. Somebody's going to punch a ticket as a wild card, or somebody's got to win the AL Central, don't they?
I got a question for you. So the Savannah Bananas, which is kind of the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, are at Target Field this weekend. Will the Twins have any crowds the remaining of the season that equal what these guys in yellow bring to Target Field this weekend? And my answer to you is probably not, unless they do get into the playoffs. Not leading up to the playoffs, but do get into the playoffs, and then maybe that Twins fan base will be awakened.
Yeah, they had the home opener against Tampa Bay. They had, I think they were close to 40,000 in that game. The Shohei against Joe Ryan mound matchup when the LA Dodgers were here, packed the house, 40K. Other than that, they haven't come close to packing the venue. Yeah, that's a great question. The Yankees come here in September. If the Twins are in it, I would think that'll bring some people into the house.
It will, but you're not going to get 40, though.
No, it won't be banana-like. Hey, the Savannah Bananas played before 72,000 plus in May at Kyle Field on the campus of Texas A&M. 40,000 to them is, that's a batting practice turnout.
Yeah, I know it's entertaining, but you told me that you might be venturing over this week. I just have little or no interest in it. I've seen some of the shenanigans on TV and whatnot. I don't know, man. It's just it is. It's like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, and that's fine. I mean, that's good for kids, I would say, but I have zero interest.
I'm going to give them some props, though. They have there's 2 guys in the majors right now who were Savannah Bananas, and these guys.
Oh, they're
These athletes are
talented.
very athletic.
They're talented.
Yeah, and they're acrobatics. And it's competitive. Unlike the Globetrotters where it's scripted, where the Washington Generals are always going to lose. This is a 6-team league. They play 5 different teams, the Bananas do. And so it's competitive. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Go out to the ballpark, laugh, have fun. We can't do that enough these days.
Yeah, well, that's for sure, especially with the team that we follow, because we haven't had much to cheer for.
Or the teams that we follow.
Or the teams that we follow. Yeah, that's true. The entire lot of them. It doesn't do us much good. Well, one of those teams is in training camp right now out in Eagan. We'll catch up with that with a should-be Hall of Famer coming up.
Yeah, number 44 joins us. We are 10K Takes Your Purple Ticket.
This is a great idea. You were right.
Yes, you heard correctly, Denise. The 3 most beautiful words in the English language. Print them out. Hang them on your fridge. Get one of those planes that spells out words in the sky. Let everyone see. You were right. This is your moment. Savor every second.
Stop by any one of Freddy's 6 Minnesota locations.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Let your adventure begin in Lakeville, Minnesota. We have over 90 places to grab a bite to eat, and we're close to the Mall of America, Valley Fair, and the Minnesota Zoo, plus hotel packages and great rates. Visit Lakeville. We're serious about fun all year round.
We are Minnesota Scores 10,000 Takes, and it is that time of year. Vikings are in training camp, of course, and time to catch up. See what's going on out in Eagan. We check in now with former Vikings great Chuck Foreman, who spent a few days in training camp in his day. You were out in training camp a couple of times so far. Are you seeing anything that excites you, or is it just practice, so to speak?
It's practice, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
It's like, what I do know is they got some talent out there. I do know that. Now, what I saw yesterday, they're not doing much of anything right now except for, I guess, implementing stuff into, getting the guys ready as far as the offensive and defensive plays go. And most of them already know them, but, they did have a little, not scrimmage, but a passing thing out there. I mean, it's just a wait and see. A couple of days, we don't know.
It's different than your day, right? I mean, it's way different now, obviously.
Way different. We had 2-a-days. We were there 6 weeks. And it was in Mankato, and it was hot. But it was a lot of fun, too. But, it was a totally different concept of training camp, because that's very leisure looking.
Chuck, when you played, your quarterback most of the time was Fran Tarkenton. He was
Right.
smallish by NFL standards, but he could extend plays. He was a scrambler. He was accurate. Any similarities between Fran and what you've seen out of Kyler Murray, who isn't the biggest guy in the world,
Right.
but he certainly can move out of the pocket and make things happen? Do you see any parallels?
Well, the first thing is he's a little taller than I thought he would be when I saw him yesterday. The second thing is he is well put together. He's physically, you can see he's tight. He works out. Yeah, physically he's impressive. And the guy's got an arm on him. I think he's got some escapability. He's got a lot of things that Fran didn't have. I mean, this guy's got speed. He's got all kinds of things that I see that could be a benefit for the Vikings. But, it's kind of like a wait and see, because still they're trying to say it's a quarterback competition between him and JJ. But from what I saw yesterday, just, in the limited practice that I saw, I'm impressed with if they stay healthy, that offensive line stays healthy. I think it's a playoff team for sure.
All right. A few years ago, Joshua Dobbs came in here, otherwise known as the Pastronaut, and he liked to create with his feet. And after he did that for a couple of weeks and was very successful, I might add, he kind of got reined in by Kevin O'Connell, and things went down the drain for the Pastronaut. Kyler Murray is going to be that kind of guy. As you know, he's going to get out of the pocket. He's going to create with his feet. Do he and Kevin O'Connell, do they mix? Is this going to be a good marriage?
Well, they knew what he was when they got him. So Kevin's going to have to change, because if they ask him to change, it was a waste of time bringing him here, because they're supposed to be bringing him here to bring that athletic ability and everything else to help make that offense go. I mean, why would you take a guy's biggest asset from him? It makes no sense to me. In fact, the Vikings, at this point, they need to win this coaching staff, and he gives them a good chance to win.
Yeah, I think you're right, Chuck. Kevin O'Connell, this is year 5 as the head coach. He's the only coach in the NFC North without at least one playoff win. I want you to tell me how the Purple, I know you're optimistic, you should be.
Right.
How are they going to replace Harrison Smith, C.J. Ham, Jonathan Grenard, not just on the field, but in the room? These guys were leaders. They were liked by their teammates.
Well, they really, really were. So that's something that we as fans and people, we don't know the inner workings of who's inside, but I'm sure they have guys in there that are capable leaders on the team. And, it's in the NFL motto, you got one guy coming in, you got another guy taking over. And so I think that'll work itself out. Talent wise, you'll see how the practices go, who's stepping up and who's leading the team. It's just a natural transition. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Why do you think the Cardinals, for all intents and purposes, gave up on Kyler Murray? I mean, there's a lot of talk about he wasn't a great team guy. He didn't do the extra stuff that's necessary to be a leader in the locker room and on the field, and on it goes. We know about the athleticism. You saw it yourself at practice this week, and we've seen it in NFL games occasionally. But why do you think the Cardinals went a different direction with him?
Well, maybe because they didn't give him everything he needed to be successful there. Maybe he was a little frustrated. Of course, injuries didn't help out either, but a lot of expected from a guy that didn't have much around. So, I'm sure he got frustrated. The coaches got frustrated. I don't know. I don't know what happened there with the Cardinals, but I think he's got an opportunity here to start over and be fresh and, do some great things. So I don't know what happened there, but I'm sure, you don't get to be where he was. But I'm sure he's got a real strong personality, so that's something that they're probably going to have to deal with. But at this point where he is, he knows he's got to produce.
Yeah.
And of course the Vikings know, the coaches know that they've got to be, productive. There might be some changes.
And beyond that, Chuck,
Yeah.
the organization needs to produce. It's been almost 50 years since the Purple last played in a Super Bowl. You were in it. It was at the Rose Bowl, Oakland and Minnesota. I was a kid. I watched it in the stands. But almost 50 years, Chuck, that should not be that big a gap.
No, not here. And it's been quite some time. And the Vikings need to step it up, because to be quite honest with you, when you think of the Minnesota Vikings, at least most of the people that I come across, the success of the Vikings has been based on the time that prior to me, and then when I got here, that's to establish the Minnesota Vikings and their traditions and their winning ways. I mean, I'm not saying they haven't won any football games here and they haven't had any great players. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying to you is to develop a solid football team to get not only to the playoffs, but get to the Super Bowl is not an easy task. And so, the Vikings, it's been 50 years, so people ask me all the time, what's the difference between us or me and mate, 3 Super Bowls. When they get personal, I say, 3 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, and I can go on and on. So, you make your comparisons. Or some people come to me and say, well, who was the guy? I say, okay, who was the guy and who made a big difference when they came in? I said, I don't know. The Vikings were 7-7 the year before I got here. Then we went to like 4 straight NFC championship games, 3 Super Bowls. I guess that speaks for itself.
I think it does. Okay. I need a brief answer, 10 seconds or less.
All right.
If the Minnesota Vikings are to be successful this year, what needs to happen? Other than staying healthy, that's an obvious one. But what needs to happen? What part of their game has to click, do you think?
I think their running game has to click, and that'll open up everything.
Okay.
And for that running game to click, the offensive line got to stay healthy. I'm sorry to say that, but that's true.
Yeah.
And Christian Darrisaw needs to stay on the field.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the key. I'm not even worried about the defense because the defense, I think, is going to be special because their coach, for some reason, those guys perform for him. I mean, he can change up, but they all come and they come play.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Chuck. Good stuff as usual.
Thank you, Chuck.
This is the first of many times we'll be tapping into you, I'm sure, over the next few months.
Well, I hope so, and let's hope it's a good year.
Yeah,
we've been disappointed. We've got quarterbacks going to the Super Bowl that were here. And
we know.
I can go on and on about that too.
It's
not good.
Lather, rinse, repeat. Thanks, Chuck.
Right. Thank you, guys.
He is Chuck Foreman. Led the Vikings to 3 Super Bowls back in the day. With us here on 10,000 Takes. Stay with us. Back with more after this time out.
Get in the game at St. Croix Casinos in Turtle Lake, Danbury, and Hertel, Wisconsin, your local destination for sports betting. Check out our sportsbook at St. Croix Casinos. From football and soccer to hockey and UFC, you can join the non-stop action. You'll find plenty of options to bet on with our cutting-edge Play Sports kiosks, whether placing live or prop wagers before tuning into the game. That's the book at Turtle Lake, the Red Zone at Danbury, and our sports betting kiosk at Hertel. Find your fortune at St. Croix Casinos.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision. It's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
10,000 takes rolling along, and so are your Minnesota Lynx. My goodness, is this team ever going to lose a game? Now, at the time of this recording, they had a long winning streak intact. But look, this club, they were good before Nafisa Collier got back. Now they're really good, and I think it's been almost seamless, which just shows you how good she is.
Yeah, I think the Lynx are scary good because Nafisa's come back, hit the ground running. There haven't been any hiccups as far as acclimating with teammates, some like Olivia Miles, who she never really has played with. But it has been seamless, like you say. 10 wins in a row going into the L.A. Sparks game at Target Center on Thursday night. I don't think we can give enough credit to Cheryl Reeve and that organization for their ability to win year after year after year. If you want to put it on an NBA level, it's like Greg Popovich used to do in San Antonio, or Phil Jackson did with Chicago, or the LA Lakers. I mean, just consistent greatness. And I've said it before, Cheryl Reeve probably is the most successful coach in the history of Minnesota sports, at least at the pro level.
She's won championships.
She's won 4.
It's something that
she's got Olympic gold.
As great as Bud Grant was, never won it all.
She may get 5. It's the drive for 5, baby, for the Minnesota Lynx.
It's the drive for 5. All right. Your Minnesota United. Now, this is a club that has been on the shelf for a while. They came back, played, 1 or 2 matches. Now they're into this mid-season tournament. What's this thing called? The Leagues Cup?
Leagues
Cup. Okay. So my question is, you had, 5-6 weeks off for the World Cup. So you got your regular season, MLS season. Then you're going away for 5 or 6 weeks because of the World Cup. I understand that. But you come back. Why are you interrupting your season again with some mid-season baloney tournament that nobody knows much about it? You really have to be deep in the weeds with soccer to understand why they would do this. I mean, as a casual fan, I look at it and I say, wait a minute. I was just kind of getting revved up about my team playing meaningful games. I don't care about some mid-season tournament. Kind of like the WNBA and the NBA with the NBA Cup and whatever that WNBA thing is that they play.
I don't like what basketball does with their respective cups, and now you have, as you said, I mean, there's a World Cup bounce. It's real here in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, because those were the host nations. So Major League Soccer, you get back on the pitch, and I think the Loons played maybe 3 matches. And now earlier this week, they took on Juarez from Liga MX. That's a team from Mexico, as you might imagine. And then they have a couple more of those before they play again on August 18th in MLS action at Real Salt Lake. It's just too big of a gap. It makes it too confusing. Here's the reality of it. U.S. sports fans don't want to have to think. They just want to know, okay, here's a match that counts in the MLS.
That includes me.
Me too. I mean, I look at the NHL standings, and I'm confused. I'm dizzy. I didn't go to Harvard. I can't figure out all the cockamamie things the NHL has on their table, as soccer would call it. So I'm with you. I think just play MLS matches and do the Leagues Cup next year. But there's 18 teams from Mexico, 18 from MLS, so they're shutting it down for
what,
week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I would have just put that thing away. And the NBA, you could do the same thing with your NBA Cup and the WNBA with whatever that midseason tournament is they have. Forget about it. Get rid of it. I have no interest in those at all.
Hey, the good news is I don't think there's any way the NFL can do this, because if they could, they would, if they could monetize it. But the Pro Bowl has gone down the drain. It's an irrelevant end of the season event right before
it's an
the
activity
Super Bowl.
now.
Yeah, it's glorified flag football. So I don't think the NFL is going to have any cup play in the middle of what is already way too long of a regular season.
Very true. All right. We need to take a break. We will be back. Takes of the day waiting on deck. We are 10,000 Takes.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Get in the game at St. Croix Casinos in Turtle Lake, Danbury, and Hertel, Wisconsin, your local destination for sports betting. Check out our sportsbook at St. Croix Casinos. From football and soccer to hockey and UFC, you can join the non-stop action. You'll find plenty of options to bet on with our cutting-edge Play Sports kiosks, whether placing live or prop wagers before tuning into the game. That's the book at Turtle Lake, the Red Zone at Danbury, and our sports betting kiosk at Hertel. Find your fortune at St. Croix Casinos.
Life moves pretty fast, but not at Freddy's. When that first bite hits, you can't help but slow down. The secret to quality time is just quality and time. That's Freddy's.
Mom, what's wrong with them?
That's called quality time. Don't stare.
Stop by any one of Freddy's 6 Minnesota locations.
Finding the ideal place to stay is important for business travelers. Lakeville, Minnesota is conveniently located off I-35, just south of the Twin Cities, with a variety of hotel choices. Lakeville offers convenient amenities such as shopping, walking trails, golf, and more. Our unique meeting spaces, historic downtown, live music, and over 60 dining options are sure to impress. Book your next stay in Lakeville and experience convenience, comfort, and quality. Find your perfect hotel at visitlakeville.org.
And they don't care. They don't care.
They don't care. I mean, I only need to know enough to do this show, a radio show, and do an update. If I had a more important job, I'd be more into it. Reluctantly.
Good point.
10K takes on television as we wrap up yet another episode. Big shout out to the viewers in the Twin Cities, the Twin Ports, Med City. Of course, each week at this time, they're wondering what your mood is. Angry, cranky, grumpy, giddy, sarcastic. Dare I say it, maybe you're even happy. What's your mood this week?
Probably a lot different, or maybe not, of Viking fans, the purple clad that go out to Egan during this time of year. And they go out to training camp to watch practice. And you heard Chuck Foreman earlier in the show. He watched a little bit of practice. I don't think that Chuck had to pay to get in, but you do, unless you're working in the media or you're working for the Vikings in some capacity. Adults, $10, and that's every day, with the exception of the game that's this weekend where they have like a night scrimmage type game, and it's $20 for that. $10 for kids in that particular case, $5 for kids during the week, and as I said, $10 on the weekend. And oh, by the way, make sure you get your parking ahead of time. You got to pay for parking. That's $10 or $20 if you don't pay ahead of time. So yeah, the Vikings are cashing in on your fandom. If it wasn't enough to get all your money for all the gear you wear and all the times that you go to the store and buy Viking this and Viking that, or when you go to the game and you spend $15 on a beer or $20 on a hot dog or whatever it is, they're getting you a training camp, which used to be completely free, parking and all. Now they're just going right after your pocketbook because you want to watch practice. Have fun.
Yeah, it's like the airlines used to let you check bags for free. That's gone with the wind. Oh, look at that mood meter.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that? He's an angry American. Fair enough.
Dopey.
All right, well, I'm going to talk about your club, the Cleveland Browns.
No, please.
Back before they moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens, they did have some winning seasons. They had a lot of hard luck and heartbreak like the Minnesota Vikings. But, they would make their runs occasionally. But the newer edition of the Cleveland Browns, who came into the NFL in 1999, have been one of the worst-run franchises in pro sports since then. I don't think you can debate it. 3 playoff games in 26 years. So they've got 2 or 3 more years left in their Lakefront Stadium, and then they're going to their brand-new dome in the suburbs. And, the Brownies had a chance. I'm not happy they're going inside. Cleveland's a great weather city. But, okay, they're going to have the roof. But you could have said we'll have natural grass. You could have been a little different. Been like the Las Vegas Raiders are in their dome out in the desert in Nevada. But no, the Browns were quick to announce a few days ago it will be field turf in their brand new playpen. So that that sickens me. These NFL owners do not care about player safety. If you think they do, you are wrong.
Yeah.
They just don't.
No. The NFL...
It's about money.
Yeah. The NFL is becoming homogenous, man.
Yeah, it's a sanitized league. All right, thanks for watching. We are 10K Takes, your sports ticket.